Right, so we are welcoming Tori, who is going to be administrative assistant for the AgCom and the CPC. Meets tomorrow night. And so we're sort of, there's never been an admin assistant for the AgCom, and I think we're going to have to figure out exactly. I mean, I would like to see, this is only like 6 or 7 meetings a year that take an hour and a little bit of work to do behind the scenes. But, you know, we could be doing some projects and stuff like that, especially some clerical help if anybody has some ideas. So why don't we, I don't know, I don't really know how to do this, but should we go around the room and introduce ourselves? Sure. Do we need to do that? Okay.
Yeah, well,
all right.
All right. Hello, everyone. I live in the town. I moved back. I grew up in Sunderland, moved to Colorado from 2017 through 21, and then after COVID, decided to move back home. Settled in the town. Figured I'd want to get to meet more people since I'm a remote worker, and figured why not get into local government.
I'm Mike Maher. I've lived here my whole life. I own and operate Poplar Hill Farm with my brother, as well as Bearcat Compost, which is now moved to South Jersey.
I'm Eric Deving. I moved to Whately in 22. We're up on Poplar Hill Road, and I run and own Agricultural farm there.
Doug Coldwell. I moved here in 1992, and I only came here to help Paul Majewski sell the potatoes that were in his storage. And then I was going to leave in May after we got the new crop planted.
Still here.
And here, so I own Happy Valley Organics and we wholesale organic vegetables and herbs to supermarkets throughout me.
And I'm David Shamuka. I live in West Whately. I've been there for roughly 45 years, maybe before Mike was born.
Yeah.
And we're organic farmers, vegetable farmers, and we have beef cows too.
I'm Bill O'Bear. I live on Weber Road in West Whately. I run Bear Path Farm and originally the compost business, which Mike bought from me a number of years ago. And now I'm trying to enjoy retirement.
Okay, Tim Nurse moved here in 1968, bought our first farm down on the River Road, and retired last year from the business. And my connection with our first group was that Bill was in the first group, and John, I don't think John was in the first group, but Margaret was maybe, and the first rendition of the AgCom. So,
Right. Tim was on the first, on the AgCom Team 1.
And acted as chairman for several years until John took over or something, but I can't remember all the details. But anyway, I don't know what kind of a contribution I'm going to make anymore with kind of being out of the loop, but I'm here. Anyone who wants to take over, just let me know.
We're always happy to have you here, Tim. All right, so why don't we take a look at the sign? So I don't know, probably a couple of years ago, Dave had the idea that we should get some Whately as a right to farm community signs made. You see them on some other towns. Williamsburg has them. Hadley has them.
Luxembourg, I know there was a whole slew of them.
Lunenburg?
Lunenburg or Luxembourg, I don't
It's
know.
not Luxembourg.
I don't know. But there was like 20 different signs.
Yeah.
Different communities that had right to farm signs.
And Keith Bardwell, he's the road
Yeah,
west.
he's,
He
uh,
showed you.
yeah, so this, and he's working on and trying to find he's got a company, I forget, flash signs or something, or about, getting a design, how much it would cost, but he told me $40, but I think that's maybe just the metal, not the design, the metal. And, he said maybe 5 or 6 signs we could put up in town,
Mhm.
maybe 2, on one end of, on the River Road and one on the Hatfield side of River Road, one up on the, by the Conway Reservoir, coming from Conway to Whately that way.
Mhm.
On the Haydenville Road from the reservoir coming this way. Beyond 5 and 10, I think Jim Galunka said to maybe go on his property. I don't know.
I think Keith said you can't put them on the state highway. But like Jim Galunka could put one
On his property.
on his property.
That's what
Yeah.
he said. He
Yeah,
could.
I think you can't put them on a state sign, like
Okay.
on a sign on the road.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Keith also said that we could put them on writing on existing poles, so we wouldn't have to buy any poles.
Yeah.
So that
You
would save
like
a lot.
telephone poles, Dave?
Regular like speed limit signs, that kind of stuff.
Oh.
We could put them right below it. Something on that. That would save some money right there.
Yeah,
And it'd be a lot easier for everybody. And he had 2 dimensions, 18 by 18, which is more like a square.
Mm.
That's more like a speed limit sign. And he said also, depending on what kind of we agree on or what kind of picture or design we want to go, like 18 by 20.
I think 18 by 24 was the Hadley.
Yeah, that's a pretty good sign. That's a pretty
Yeah.
good sign.
Right.
Well, you want to be able to see it.
Yeah,
And while you're driving.
That'd probably be like the size of maybe almost like you see these historical signs,
Yeah.
about that size. So there's a couple of pictures. Joanne Dennehy did this. The only thing I wanted to put on, she didn't have it. Put "Welcome to Whately" on top.
Yeah. Right.
But I think that's like Tim said.
you on the call.
That's the cup.
Now, were you thinking? Uh, didn't Keith say that there was too much shading and it needed to be more like a line drawing?
Could be, yeah.
Okay.
It could be that. I mean, they have them on. He said computer generated. They could do it. They have on their files. But I'm gonna drop one off and show him just basically for. But the only thing is, we're gonna put "Welcome to Whately" on top, and I think like you see, most of the towns they have the right to farm, a right to farm community on the bottom, so you don't really see it. But if you hit, "Welcome to Whately," then you see right to
Yeah.
farm community. It catches your eye right off the bat. Not where you're going down, you can just see, there's a tractor, you don't care what's on the bottom. And we thought the Whately milk bottle was a thing to put on it because everybody thinks Whately about the milk bottle. So that's one thing too. And I have another company that Wally Sykowski gave me a company up East Bridgewater, Mass. It's called East Flash Sign, and that might be the ones that made the Hadley right to farm signs.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give them a call. Keith is working on this thing. He says, sometimes they think he told me that they're, maybe the reason why they're pretty reasonable price because a lot of these prisons or jails, they make the signs. So that gives the inmates something to do. That's why it's a little bit cheaper. So he would know road signs. He's been busy right now with the snow and trying to tap trees. So best time I catch him is 6 o'clock in the morning when he's going into the garage. And I'm going by that way, so that's when I talk to him.
Track him down.
But,
Yeah.
really, he's interested in helping on these signs. He should weigh money. We could get 5 or 6 of them. Put through the town.
Yeah. Great.
So
Tim.
I think that this being right to farm community prominent would be valuable, Bill. When we think about other experiences we've had on the AgCom, where people didn't realize that this was a right to farm. And so if the chickens next door were making noises,
Yeah.
that type of thing. So, but it would identify with the people, and what does that mean? At least they know.
I thought it might also be a good idea, once the signs start going up, I could write a thing for the scoop.
Yeah.
And it would explain what a right to farm community
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Well, we should have a little article in the recorder too.
Wasn't too when they do the annual report. I remember when he had it, or Johnny Devine when he did the report for the town court. There was a paragraph or a line or something saying that this is a right to farm.
Mhm. I think,
If
I think
you look
that's still in
back,
there.
but it's still people forget about it,
Yeah.
especially when you see that you're going down the road and there's tobacco wagons in the road. Everybody wants to go and because of that dust, But that's farming. That's where we are.
I think something in the scoop makes a lot of sense.
Mm,
too.
Yeah, especially explaining.
Laying out exactly what that.
And everybody gets the scoop. So
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so what do you think? What's the next step?
I'll wait till I'm going to call this company up and see what they say. Make sure they do it. I just told them where I got the name from. They said, "Well, have it." I can try to skim them a copy before they'll tell me.
Right.
And I'm going to get one of these to Keith.
Okay.
And he'll see what we have to do. He said, depending on the site, how big you want it, and what kind of thing. So
And now you were thinking you want to get welcome to Whately?
on top, she
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
put that, but I welcome the way. Of course,
Welcome to Whately.
Oh, right.
A right
fine.
to farm. Yeah.
Do you get rid of the weight for you?
No, I
Keep
would
that,
I keep that because that's on the milk bottle.
Sure.
You look at a milk bottle.
Yeah.
Couldn't put clunk on it because that's advertising. That's why Whately, Whately is, it's Whately's on the bottom of the bottle. So.
All right, well, I think maybe once that design is kind of finalized, it probably should we should send it to the select board too.
Yeah.
Approve it.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, if it comes to me in a digital file, I can send it. You know what I mean?
All right.
Once it's finalized, you can if you email it to me, then I can send it to all of you, or one of us can. Yeah. Okay, well, great. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna get this company a call and see.
Yep.
He says, a lot of this is computer generated design, so
Yeah.
maybe this tractor's maybe a little bit, it darker lines and stuff. Not so fancy, but this is fancy. So
Get some AI generated tractor image, and the wheels are all different sizes.
something like this size, but the person should. I wanted a baseball hat because if you get the stereotype of these signs, you see the town signs or the highway signs slowing down. It's this farmer with a straw hat. I don't have to see any farmer with a straw hat. It's all baseball hats. So that's the reason why.
Okay, good. So in a month, we'll have maybe an idea of a couple of quotes, and we'll refine the art, and then we'll get it.
If they say you can send a kind of drawing, then I can. Yeah, I guess we could email something like this. Linda could take a picture and email to these companies. Yeah, before we do, I'll just put fork in the wood.
Give it to Doug.
Okay, but let's wait till we refine the design.
Yeah.
Where it says
Make sure
welcome.
I know they can do a tractor, but this is nice if they could do this kind of tractor.
Yeah.
Pretty close to it with darker lines, not so shaded in.
Yeah, they can.
They'll scan it.
Today's world.
Yeah. But
We're
that's
probably going to all get ads on our phones tomorrow for some metal sign companies.
Good job, Dave.
Yeah, Tim.
Yeah, question. Do you think that 18 by 24 going on a speed sign or whatever would it be too big for that
I
sign?
don't know. I'll have to ask. That's Keith, though. He'll tell me what he thinks.
What'll be interesting is to measure a sign. Just go with a tape.
He came up with two
Yeah.
design. He came up with two measurements, 18 by 18, which would be a square.
Yeah,
Then he said, you are, depending what kind of you want for design or something, the 18 by 24.
So 18 long, 24 wide.
Yeah,
I think a speed limit sign is 18 by 24.
yeah, that's what I think.
That
Oh, is that
seems
right?
like it would be better.
yeah, no, I think,
24
I think
high,
the
18
orient,
wide, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
portrait, not landscape.
Yeah.
I think,
because, till you get 24, it sticks out a little.
yeah,
Yeah, so if
18.
it's spun the other way,
Yeah,
plays really well, right?
yeah, that, would work too.
Yeah.
Because then you see a bigger design of the book model. As long as we can get the writing, what we want to say.
Was thinking about it for 5 posts, if that's 5 signs and 5 posts to display the sign, it seemed to be well worth it.
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, even if there's, there's one spot, you gotta buy a post or 2 spots, that's,
and we start selling fridge magnets.
yeah.
No, but I thought that was a pretty good thing when he said we could put it right on existing poles,
Yeah,
that'll make it a lot easier for everybody to look.
We can, it's kind of joking around, we can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh,
I'd wear a t-shirt like that.
Yeah.
Really,
I would-
really
I mean, it would be possible to, have them made. I mean, it might take a while to request the money and get it budgeted, but if somebody wanted to make them available, they probably be done by pre-order. And there's a million companies that print stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're wearing an advertisement. you're
Right.
wearing an advertisement. So, all right, well, cool. Oh, you know what? We should just, did everyone look at the minutes?
Yes,
Okay, can I get a motion to accept the minutes as written, or if anyone thinks there's corrections needed
I move to accept the minutes from our last meeting,
as written?
as written.
Second,
Favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Unanimous. So minutes are done. We never made it onto the agenda. All right, so the pollinator quarter meeting. Next one, okay, so that's coming up the 27th of Feb at 6, and I think it's probably in the other room. So, we got a grant to build some gardens in town. And these gardens are intended to support wild pollinating insect populations. And so I went to one meeting, it was just a very basic planning meeting. And the next meeting is February 27th, 6 p.m. I don't know yet what it's really about, this meeting. I guess it's just continuing to maybe decide where the gardens are gonna go, and maybe they're gonna start to talk about what sort of species they're gonna put in it. I'm not sure yet. But that seems to be the direction it's going. And if anyone wants to attend, this is where you should be. So
That'll be on Zoom too, right?
that will.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw it on the flyer. There's a
Okay.
link. You sent me a flyer or something like that. I think there was a link on there to
Okay.
Zoom.
Okay.
I could be mistaken.
No, I mean, I'm sure there probably is. I was thinking, I just don't remember it being linked.
Yeah, that might be a little early.
Yeah, it could have been. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not like it's a town,
Oh, it's not, doesn't have to be
I
Zoom.
don't know.
Hmm.
I'm not sure. I know this, this next topic here is the battery storage committee, and that is choosing to meet purely by.
Oh, maybe I'm getting that one.
Okay. Anyway, so the pollinator thing is happening. If anyone wants to tune into that. And the next thing I got down here is review the battery storage committee meeting. That has been meeting every 2 weeks by Zoom, and this is this is basically the planning board is trying to be able to limit where an outside company could put essentially lithium battery storage facilities in town. None have been proposed. And but some towns are fighting it, some towns are trying to modify their zoning language and their bylaws to be able to influence where that sort of thing could go in town. And Judy Markland is on it, and Brant from the planning board and other folks. I was tuning in every 2 weeks to these 2-hour Zoom calls, and it's really not much of an ag issue. I think I mean, this is actually good because, I said I'm still tuning into the email, but I'm not tuning into the meetings unless something specifically ag related comes up. So I think there are some people who would say we should exclude every bit of farmland in town or we should try to exclude every bit of farmland in town from being considered for one of these battery storage facilities. I think that's one way to look at it. The other way I would look at it is maybe there's a farm in town, the guy's got a field, 100-acre field, but there's 12 acres way out in the back corner. I don't even plant it anymore.
Yeah.
And
I can generate some income.
Yeah, and I could get, $100,000 a year for 30 years by just providing access to that. So I feel like there's probably
A happy medium.
I mean, I just kind of feel like these sorts of decisions should be up to the landowner.
Right.
Well, do you have any idea, Doug, what sort of footprint these battery facilities would be?
I think as near as we were able to see that something like 10 acres would be about the biggest facility that would be practical here. And but the thing is, there's there's a big setback, and
buffer zone,
right, buffer zone, and the whole path.
Yeah.
So
It's
it's
spaced out.
Gotta be away from water, wetlands or anything like that.
So who would build one of these?
This would be an independent energy contractor. There's a company called Jupiter Energy that has built a few in the eastern part of the state.
And so it's just to store the extra from the solar that comes from solar, and then it's used up.
Yep.
Then they sell it back to the power company.
Right. And a lot of them are in association with solar facilities. They don't have to be because there is extra electricity somewhere.
Right.
And the utility is motivated to try to mop it up.
So they can pull it off the grid when there's extra and then give it back.
Yeah, put it back when there's high demand.
Yeah. And so a lot of
storage.
It's smart instead of wasting it.
Yeah, exactly. And so a lot of these facilities are being built in association with, they're near power plants. That's already an industrial zone. It blends in, but wouldn't necessarily blend in the center of West Wales.
How many solar farms are in there?
You.
Second side.
Big ones, still small.
Yeah. So they'd probably think they'd try to be somewhere in that area? Or maybe they'd be totally separate from that. I guess if you say they don't need to be.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that they want to be near big grid.
Right, they need to be near a substation.
Yeah. So.
It's not like they're not targeting Whately. It's just a preemptive.
Right. I mean, but the thing is, if you had, like we have a 648 kW system. The most we can push back into the grid at any one time is 500 kW. So you oversize the system. So there's more
You're always
hours
putting
of 500 K.
Yeah.
So we have overproduction. I mean, we could probably put at our facility, there are limits to how big you can go in association with the solar field. We could do we could probably have batteries that would be like 2 or 3 shipping containers.
Yeah.
And mop up that power.
That extra.
So, but again, I mean, you're talking maybe a couple $1 million to do it. And I don't think there's the incentives out there for clean energy and stuff. So anyway, and this is not, I mean, there are people just in their residences have this basically, short-term batteries. And that's not what they're trying to zone for. This is commercials.
You said that this committee that got together, I mean, no one's proposed a project, but they were trying to limit it. Are they trying to limit it, or are they trying to just get ahead of it and put some regulation around it, or does it feel like the vibe is like people don't want this?
No, the vibe is definitely. In fact, nobody is dead set against it on the committee. It's how can we create zoning and planning so that if it comes in, the options are limited to the areas that
we're not scrambling trying to
figure
say,
it
oh
out.
man, wish they didn't put it there.
Yeah.
I think the zoning board has done this over the years. I mean, when these bigger solar field situations were being built or proposed, they went about and developed bylaws for that.
Yeah.
Rather than, having problems later. So I think that they're just getting ahead of the curve here.
Yeah.
Exactly. And they have the advantage of other towns. So, the litmus test is this, does the Attorney General's office accept your bylaw? And now there are several towns that have had the Attorney General's office say, we reject this bylaw because of X reason. So we can learn from that.
Yeah.
And then there's other bylaws that were accepted by the Attorney General's office, but afterwards they realized, oh, we missed this. We didn't put this, some component in there. And so now there's people on the planning board and Judy Markland are kind of working together to craft something. So I think they're close to having something that they're going to send to the Attorney General's office for
The town of Weldon, I guess they're been in the news about this battery storage.
What town, Dave?
Weldon? No,
it's next to Luxembourg.
yeah. So,
Weston?
Weldon.
Wellesley.
No.
Weldon, Mass?
Somewhere it was in the paper. We had
Menden?
it was
anyway.
grateful reporter.
Okay.
It was about
So
there.
it could be somewhere in New Hampshire then.
Wendell?
Wendell?
Wendell, maybe, yeah. Wendell.
Yeah, Wendell,
They're against everything.
Well, they fight the forest too.
Yeah.
But no, that's the one.
Yeah, I think the Wendell, if I remember right, the Wendell bylaw was one that was not endorsed. I think the Attorney General's office said the Wendell bylaw.
It's
not.
been
rejected.
quite.
What they
quite a few
tried,
times.
Property.
yeah, what they were trying, I mean, some towns tried to do was like, they tried to make rules that once you applied all the rules, it just every bit of town property was you couldn't put one in,
Right.
and you can't do that. So I think Montague had one shut down for a similar reason because they only isolated this one sliver up on 63 or something. Yeah, so
It has to be realistic.
yeah, I mean Montague, way back that way. I mean the Plains, the Montague Plains was considered one of the sites possible for a nuke.
Yeah, yeah. Of course, you're not gonna be able to put anything in their land.
No APR land. I wouldn't think floodplain. So yeah, there's a lot of ag limits
That's a
in
big
place
area
already.
Plains.
Yeah.
And that's desert.
Yeah.
Basically.
Scrub land.
Good place for a nuke.
It would be, really. Just think all the money we would save on taxes.
The reason that it came out of consideration was All right.
We're recording.
All right, so I mean, that's kind of the battery storage update. Trying to think if there was any. Tim, are you sworn in and have you taken the ethics training class?
When I went to do it, I needed some sort of a passcode.
Okay,
And so that goes back a while, but I attempted to, but I needed a password.
okay.
I think when I did it, it just like reset it or I don't remember now. Is there two parts to it? I had that.
There was a second part. I didn't realize that until.
Okay. I got an email and I was like, I don't know if this is a scam or if this is
Okay,
real.
no, I think there is a second
Okay,
part.
it's
The
like it
second-
says it takes 10 minutes.
Yes,
Okay.
tops.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, I did that.
Okay, you did.
At the same
Okay.
time.
Yeah, I figured I would ask you before I clicked
Okay.
on it.
Yeah. Open this.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, if you get
So Dougie, you think if I brought my iPad down here and sat in one of these offices, they could?
Oh,
they
absolutely.
could give
I'm
me
sure
set-
they could set you up.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Okay, great.
Can't fail.
Yeah.
Multiple choice, keep on going till you get the right answer.
Well, that's kind of what I've got. Oh, one more thing. That's right. So I did have a thought here, which is, I know we made a few years ago, like a trifold pamphlet.
I still got a bunch of them.
You do?
Oh, yeah.
Oh. And do they have it's a retail guide? Or which ones do you have?
I remember those, Bill. 'Cause
Yeah,
we
yeah.
used them when we made
When
when
I
I
compost?
yeah, we did. We referenced them when we made the
I've got almost my wife tossed them or something. I have probably a few hundred of them.
Yes, so you remember we had a file. Yeah.
Did they have all the farms in town and what you could buy?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
And
Cool.
phone numbers and
okay,
email addresses and all that.
okay. Is that something, because I was thinking, maybe there's a half dozen places in town, if we made a little trifold pamphlet that sat on the counter at Muffins for a couple of months in the summer, people might, I could go up there and get maple something or other. Galankas, I'm sure, would display them.
Yeah.
Tom's.
Yeah.
Put on the farm too. And
You want me to dig them out?
yeah, that'd be great to see. And then we could just modify it.
Why
as
don't I do
needed.
this? I'll dig them out and where are you during the week? Like down at,
You know where the Happy Valley organic sign is on Long Plain Road?
yeah,
If you pull down there and leave them in the office trailer,
okay.
or just inside the other, leave them under covers, anywhere you can. Yeah, that'd be great. Okay. So I just printed out, we did a database of every farm in town a few years ago. And it needs to be updated in a big way.
Yes.
So this is something else we could actually kind of work on, and it might kind of segue into getting the information we need for that little thing. So really what we need to do is update this. What if we kind of like divide and conquer?
Where is all this information? Like, is this on your computer at
This,
home?
this is in basically my work computer.
Okay. Just like an Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah. Yes.
Are any of these farms not operating anymore? Or
Well, I mean,
Oh, yeah, but Chesnick's now changed,
I guess they just go through and.
Kitchen gardens got different
and our
owners.
farm, none of those names will work anymore.
right. I mean, I don't know if like Bill Hewitt still wants to do anything. I don't know if 80 mile an hour, I mean, I guess it's still. Yeah, Chesnick's is, not a bad search. So,
Eddie in Hatfield anyway?
right, but I forget why he was.
Well, he owns a piece of land up by,
He does, and he owned by the pond there,
yeah, he also owns a piece up by,
by LaSalle's. He owns that field by LaSalle's.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
But doesn't he own a house up on like Dickinson Hill Road or somewhere up
He
there?
owns a lot of houses.
Oh.
They're all falling down.
yeah,
Yeah, he
The roof
does.
caved
He
in.
does. Up in Conway, he owns one too. He has a house up.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking of. Cricket Hill Road, right?
Yeah. Oh, he has that big field there that next to the
Yeah, yeah.
dune. And the ponds there. Sure.
Okay.
Did LaSalle's ever sell?
No.
No.
All right, I tell you what if we do this?
Is this something Tori could jump into?
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Is that, you want to work on that? Actually, why don't you and I have a conversation? That'd be a great, and then you'd get exposed to most every farm in town. But like brainstorm here for a second, is there anyone who's not here? I mean, John Byshevsky's not.
He'd be good chef, right?
Yeah,
Eric, you're not on.
Yeah, my farm's.
yeah, Eric's
It's
not. I don't,
basically credible that they changed.
I don't know, I haven't talked to him in a couple of years.
I thought they sold,
oh, they may
A
have
number of
different
years.
people.
I think, yeah, no, the farm's still there.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's still.
I think they might have to.
Yeah, okay. Well, all right, Tori, do you wanna get into this? So maybe if you send me the minutes and we go over that, then you and I can, kind of divide and conquer this, cause I know a few people here are not gonna call you back. Yeah. And I know where to find them. So.
Yeah.
All right, so Tori and I will jump on that. But think about anybody who's not on here who should be. And just, if you think of somebody, let me or Tori know.
I think Builders, oh, they're there. Builders on.
So Gary jumps along with Harvest?
Well, I don't think he is. Although he's down at his mom's house right in front of Harvest Farm every.
Harvest Farms now is big
Oh,
call.
I just talked to him.
Charlie Tananis.
I just talked to
Yeah.
But I
him
don't think
today. He's definitely there.
Oh,
At
Gary?
Harvest Farm?
Gary? Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't think he owns it
Oh, gotcha.
anymore. His mom lives in that ranch house right up. So. Yeah, and so Charlie's here is Whistling Meadow.
Yeah, that's his biggest weakness, cows and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think he's doing business under the name Harvest Farm. I could be
No,
wrong.
because I think Davey.
Right,
Yeah.
I think
The plants.
Chuck is doing it under Whistling
Yeah, that's Bill at PPGA, because they sell some stuff there. And I'll ask who, if it's Harvest Farm, is Charlie Tananis' Harvest Farm or is it?
Oh, well, he lives right next to it.
Yeah,
I
He has
I mean,
a
he
sign,
doesn't live-
he has a sign out there, doesn't say right there by Harvest Farm, it says Whistling.
Yeah.
Yeah, Whistling.
So I don't know if Harvest.
Kitchen garden that they moved or something?
No,
Changed
they got
hands.
bought by,
Employees,
I
right?
can't remember their names. Yeah, it's pretty cool, transition story. They, like crowdfunded a bunch. There was a lot of state funding that went into it. Basically, the owners gave it to, well, not gave it,
Right.
sold it to the employees, to two long-term employees. Can't remember her name. Just had a conversation last week.
A number of ways to deal with it.
Max is one of them.
Yeah, Max
And Max and,
had an interesting last name.
yeah, it starts with T.
Yeah.
Lily. Lily.
Lily and Max.
I can figure it out.
Yeah, Max Tronstein,
Yeah,
how would you say that? I know.
but they're still based out of Sunderland.
I think so,
But
yeah,
they
yeah,
still have decent
yeah,
Whately.
yeah, they farm, just, north of our town. They're their neighbor, one spot
Well,
anyway.
they own land, like they bought this piece of
Israel.
land right
Yeah.
there on Plain Road.
Yeah.
No, Christian Lane, that right next to, Swift, or the Swift house, I think, right there.
Yeah,
Right at the four-way
They own-
stop.
Yeah, this is,
it's north of that,
yeah,
yeah,
right there.
or
in the
west of that.
Yeah. They own that piece. Actually, that's quite a bit, they had quite a bit of land left. With ferrets and the two ferrets, Bruce's. They were Bobby Water, yeah.
Yeah, right.
So they owned a lot of land right there. Corner.
Okay, so if anything jumps out at anybody, Tori and I'll work through this list and update it, and I'll look for that pamphlet, and we can look at it next month. That's what I got.
Solid meeting.
Okay.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Somebody want to second it?
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is there another meeting date?
Yeah, we should think of another meeting. So here's the thing. Can anyone jump into the, oh, we adjourned, so okay, but let's get the next meeting. Can anyone pull up like the town of Whately meeting calendar? Because if we sync, if you just go to the town website, it's kind of right there.
So we want to do it when there's,
We don't have to worry about opening and closing.
Well, and even being able to get in here.
Yeah, you wanna sync it for the same time. I'm looking at it. It's
It
for,
should be the second and fourth Tuesday.
Should be more towards the end of the month. We just had a meeting. February's short.
you want the same night as the select board meeting?
Yeah.
The 11th, or the 4th, the 11th, and 25th.
Oh, is there like a special? Not a special.
The 4th is the finance and select board committee. The 11th is the health clinic, select board.
Okay, okay.
25th is
The one on the fourth is the finance committee, and I have to go defend the budget, so that's more specific.
okay.
so maybe the 25th.
Yeah, that might be better. Then if we want to get this pamphlet, that's the other thing. I gotta go see how we fund the pamphlet this year at that March 4th meeting, because we're not budgeted for it. But I don't think we're talking probably $40.
So hopefully they'll cost up.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
But we typically had $300 in the budget as a, if we used it, but if we didn't,
Right, we always, and this year, right now, we have $1,500 allocated to contribute to Tori's payment, and we have 1,000 for the signs. I'm guessing there's a way to like lubricate the situation and find $40 or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, we'll save on polls.
Yeah. All right, so
Maybe the
So
the 11th.
11th.
All right, let's go 3/11, 6 p.m.